ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासां ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो नीलनेत्राय वेणुवाद्यविनादिने राधारसुधापान शालिने वनमालिने महाभावस्वरूपास्त्वं कृष्णप्रियवरीयसी प्रेमवते श्रीराधिका त्वं नमोऽस्तु ते। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. As we are discussing from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, there are 6 different conversations. Those are explained in this book. So already we have covered Lord Chaitanya's discussion with, or his instruction to Sanatana Goswami. Then second is Rupa Goswami. Then third, how he delivered Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the greatest Mayavadi scholar, or the teacher, propagator of a Vedanta Sutra. And then how he delivered the sannyasis in Kashi, like a Prakashananda Saraswati, who was like a crest jewel of sannyasis in that era of Mayavad school. And now, the most wonderful conversation that had happened on the banks of Godavari in South India. When Lord Chaitanya, he was on the tour to South India on his Dakshin Yatra. Before he started, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he should go and bless Rai Ramananda. He was a governor of Andhra Pradesh. He was representative of Maharaj Pratap Rudra. So he was well treated as a king only, and he was a really wonderful person. And not only that, he was a great devotee. In the Madhya Leela, 18th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the chapter is entitled as Talks between the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. It covers this wonderful conversation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he reached Kabul, or Rajamahendripur, which is called as Rajamundri nowadays. So that place where Ramananda Rai used to stay. So when Mahaprabhu had a conversation with him, then Ramananda Rai, he started explaining to their lordship, because Lord inquired him, what is the real goal of a life? In the beginning, he said that Varnashratum Sanpara. If someone follows Varnashrama Institute properly, that pleases the Lord Vishnu. Then he recited various verses about offering karma or karma arpana. That everything one should dedicate for the Lord's satisfaction. Then Lord said, okay, that's okay. But is there something more important? Then he said that ultimately a spontaneous loving service to the Lord is most important thing. And that spontaneous loving service can be done in different rasas. Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras. And then he says, the ultimate service to the Lord and the topmost service to the Lord that one can achieve is conjugal loving service to the Lord. And then he recited from the various Vedic texts that how ultimately serving the Lordship Shri Radha and Krishna is the real goal of our life. And actually all this conversation that was taken from Sarva Damodar Acharya's diary. When after this conversation, Mahaprabhu requested Ramananda Rai, come and stay with me in Jagannath Puri. So that time, Ramananda Rai said, let me wind up my all activities here and then I will come back. And then he came and he stayed with Swarup Damodar Goswami. So both they were like intimate friends. And in Lord's eternal pastime, he serves as a Vishakha Sakhi. And Swarup Damodar Goswami, he serves like a Lalita Sakhi. So both they had an intimate friendship. And that time, Ramananda Rai, he narrated the whole conversation between him and Lord. And that was noted down by Swarup Damodar Goswami. And because of that, actually, we are here to discuss this wonderful pastimes. So let's start reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 18, where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very wonderfully explains. He says that Sancharya Rama Abhida Bhakta Meghe Swabhakti Siddhanta Chayamritani Gaurabdhi Eter Amuna Vitiranish Tad Jnatva Ratanalim Atmam Prayati. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as a Gauranga, is the ocean of conclusive knowledge in devotional service. Because as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in his Gauranga Shatak, he says that Lord Gauranga, he appeared Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Shikshat Ekam Purusha Puran. He is the one, the oldest person who appeared to give Vairagya Vidya and Nija Bhakti Yoga, the renunciation for this material world and his own devotional service. And that's why here he also calls him that the Lord is the conclusive ocean of the conclusive knowledge about devotional service. And what he did, he empowered Sri Ramananda Rai, who may be likened to a cloud of devotional service. How the clouds gets water? The water from the ocean gets vaporized and that turns into the clouds. So same way here, that wonderful example that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has given, that Lord has empowered Ramananda Rai with the conclusive knowledge of devotional service. And that's like a giving, the vaporizing the ocean water and accumulated that in clouds. So Ramananda Rai is considered, compared here with that cloud, and Lord is compared with the ocean. So this cloud was filled with the water of all the conclusive purpose of devotional service and was empowered by the ocean to spread this water over the sea of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Thus, the ocean of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became filled with the jewels of knowledge of pure devotional service. It's like the same clouds they pour on the ocean, and the same water goes to the ocean. So here, the difference is that the same ocean water, but when it falls from the sky, is become more drinkable, more tasty. So when the glories of the Lord, those are spoken by the devotees, even Lord loves to hear them. And that's what we can see here. The other conversation where devotees are asking question and Lord is answering those. And here, Lord himself is asking question and Ramananda Rai is answering there. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami further says, as previously Lord was traveling village to villages, he came to Jiyad Narsimha. Today what we call that place? It's near Sri Shaila or Kurmakshetra. Simhachal. So it's on the top of the hills about 5 miles away from Vishakhapatnam. The railway station is called as a Simhachal. But that place is known as a Jiyad Narsimha temple. So there is a beautiful temple of Lord Narsimha who is having a face like Varaha, but tail and claws are like a Narsimha. And he is very ferocious. So he is always covered with the chandan. Generally on the day of Akshay Tritiya, they remove all the chandan and then you can have a full darshan of the deities. And that is one of the best place actually. Previously it was coated with the gold, but as time goes, so now it is whole year it is coated with the chandan. And only once in a year they remove that and then we can have a darshan of the Lord. So when Lord Chaitanya, he came and he saw that those deities and he fell prostrated like a danda, falling flat on the earth. And then he, with ecstasy, he started chanting and dancing the holy name of, chanting the holy name of Lord and started dancing. And he recited few verses actually. The one of that is Jai Narasimha, Shri Narasimha, Jai Shri Narasimha, Praladesha, Jai Padma, Mukha Padma, Priya. All glories to Narasimhadev, all glories to Narasimhadev, who is Lord of Prahlad Maharaj, and like a honeybee, is always engaged in beholding the lotus-like face of Goddess of Fortune. Then Prabhupada, in this purport, he quotes from the commentary by Srila Sridhar Goswami on Srimad Bhagavatam, where at few different places he has glorified Lord Narasimha with the wonderful verses. And he chanted those verses also. So one of that is like Vagesha Yasya Vadane Lakshmi Yasya Chavakshasi Yasyaste Rudaya Sambit Tam Narsimhaham Bhaje. I worship that Lord Narasimha whom Vag Isha means Saraswati always she assists him. And he says that Vag Isha Yasya Vadane, so she always resides in his mouth. Lakshmi Yasya Chavakshasi. And Mother Lakshmi as a Srivatsa Chinna, she resides on Lord's heart. Or Yasyaste Hridaya Sambit. And all the knowledge is there in his heart. And I worship that Lord Narasimha. And actually, this is the verse that Sridhar Goswami he recites because his own Ishta Devata was Narasimha. Then in the first verse of first chapter of first canto. There, before starting his commentary, he offers pranams to Lord Narasimha, where he says, Prahlad Hridaya Alladham Bhakta Avidya Vidaranam Sharad Indurchim Vande Parinda Vadanam Hari. Prahlad Hridaya Alladham. He is the one who gives pleasure to the heart of Prahlad Maharaj. And Bhakta Avidya Vidaranam. He is the one who destroys the avidya from his devotee's heart. Sharad Indu Ruchim Vande. His face is just like a Sharad Indu, the full moon, the most attractive moon that rises on the Sharad Purnima. So his face is like that. And Parindra Vadanam Hari, the one who has a face like a Narasimha. I worship that Lord Hari. Then Mahaprabhu, he recites another shloka, that is Ugropi Anugra Evayam Swabhaktanam Kesari. Keshariva Swapotanam Anyesham Ugra Vikrama. Lord Narasimha is like Ugropi Anugra Evayam. He is the most furious form of the Lord. Even though he is like a most furious form, but he, for his own devotees, he is like a Nru Kesari. Kesari means lion. But he says that Keshariva Swapotanam, like a lioness, she is so dear and so protective for her own cubs. So same way, Lord is also protector of his own devotees. But Annesham Ugra Vikrama. For others, or demons like a Hiranyakashipu, he is most ferocious. And then further Mahaprabhu says, Yeti matanara shoka padistuti kaila narsimha sevaka mala prasada anila. Like this, he was offering different prayers to the Lordship. Then for praise, he came with the garland, Mahagarland of the Lordship, and he offered to Lord Gauranga. Purvavata kodo vipri kaila nimantran seiratre tahakari lagaman. So as Lord Chaitanya was traveling, so if he used to get invited by Brahmanas, and so he used to go, he used to visit them, he used to stay there. So same way here also, he stayed for one night with one Brahmana, and the next day he started again. And then he started moving down toward the south. Then he reached to Rajamahindra, or Rajamundri, what they call today. So when he saw there, Mother Godavari, she is flowing there incessantly. When he saw the Godavari, he remembered Mother Yamuna river. Godavari dekil haila Yamuna smaran, Tirevana dekhe smriti haila Vrindavan. This is what happens, if you fell in love with someone, you see something and you always try to relate with that person. So Mahaprabhu, he was showing the person whose heart is inundated with Krishna Prema, or who is so attached to their Lordship. For him, whenever he sees anything, he remembers their Lordship. So flowing Godavari, he thought that, oh, it's Yamuna. And the forest on the banks of Godavari, he reminded the Brajatha. And remembering that, Seivane Katakshana Kari Nitya Gan, Godavari Parahana Taha Kailasnan. After performing his usual chanting and dancing for some time in this forest, the Lord crossed the river and took his bath on the other bank. Ghata chhadi katadure jala sannidhane vashi prabhu kare Krishna Nama Sankirtane. After going a little bit away from that bathing ghat, near the bank only, he started chanting the holy names of the Lord. Henakale Tolachari Brahmandarai Snanagari Bhajaila Bhajana Bhaja. So here he is explaining that how Ramananda Rai, he came there on a palanquin to take his bath. And while he was coming, all the brahmanas and different instruments, brahmanas were chanting the Vedic hymns appropriate for that particular bathing ceremony. And different Mangal Vadyas, they were played during that time. तारसंगे बहु आयला वैदिकी ब्राह्मण विधि माते कैलाते नो स्नानादि तर्पण. So, according to the Vedic rituals, Ramananda Rai took his bath and offered oblation to his forefathers, did the tarpana there. And then Mahaprabhu, when he saw him from distance, here Krishnadas Kaviraj Swami says, Tahara milete prabhura mana uthata. When Lord saw Ramananda Rai from distance, his heart started pounding. But somehow or other he controlled himself. Tathapi dhairya dhari prabhu rahila vashiya Ramananda aila apurva sannyasi dekhiya. So Mahaprabhu, he concealed all his emotions. But mentally he was running towards Ramananda Rai. Then Ramananda Rai, seeing the wonderful sannyasi, he himself approached. So here we can see, even though he was he was a governor, almost like a king, but he went himself to meet the Lordship. And we see the puffed up fellow was like so-called Alexander the Great fool. What he did, he asked his soldiers, go and get that saintly person to me. I want to meet him. That's not the way. If you have some greatness, it may be due to the knowledge, or maybe due to your social position, or maybe your wealth. But real wealth is humility. And that's what Ramananda Rai showed. By seeing the sannyasi, he immediately approached. Surya Shata Samakanti Aruna Vasan Subalita Prakanda Deha Kamala Lochan. What he saw actually, Ramananda Rai saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be as brilliant as hundreds of suns. The Lord was covered by the saffron garment, and he was large in body and very strongly built, and his eyes were like a lotus petals. Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadato. Ajanulambita Bhujau means his hands were long up to his knees. General people, their hands are up to thighs. But Mahapurushas and the incarnations of the Lord and Lord himself, their hands, they goes under the knees. Their hands are extraordinarily long. Dekhiya tahara mane haila chamatkar, asiya karina, namaskar. When Ramananda saw the wonderful sannyasi, he was struck with wonder. He went to him and immediately offered his respectful obeisances. And then Mahaprabhu, Uti Uti Prabhu kahe uta kaha Krishna Krishna, Tare alingite Prabhu Rudhaye Santrishna. The Lord stood up and asked Ramananda Rai to rise and chant the holy name of Krishna. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very eager to embrace him. तथापि पूछिला तुमी राय रामानंद ते हो कहे से हना दास शूद्र. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired whether he was Ramananda Rai, and Ramananda Rai replied, yes, I am your very low servant and I belong to Shudra community. तबे तारे कैला प्रभु दृढ़ आलिंगन हिमावशे प्रभु कृत्य दोहे अचेतन. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Sri Ramananda Rai very firmly. Indeed, both the master and servant almost lost consciousness due to the ecstatic love. See here, it's surprising, Mahaprabhu was reluctant to meet Prataparudra, even though he was a Kshatriya. But saying that, oh, he is a king and Kshatriya and they are more in the mode of passion, so it's not good for sannyasis to go and meet them. And here, Lord himself, he embraced Ramananda Rai. And Ramananda Rai very humbly said, I'm born as a Shudra. I'm Manda, lazy. I don't have any kind of a knowledge. But Lord, he recognized who is he eternally. And that's why, considering that thing, Mahaprabhu embraced him and both they fell unconscious due to the ecstatic love for each other. स्वाभाविक प्रमदोहार उदय करिला दुहा लिंगाय दुहे भूमिते पड़िला. The natural love that they have for each other, that was arisen in their heart, and both they fell down on the earth. And then Stamba Sveda Shrukampa Pulaka Vaivarnya Duhara Mukhete Shoni Gada Gada Krishna Varna. They were showing all Ashtasattvic Vika, 8 different ecstatic symptoms, and they fell down and they were like with the Gada Gada, which choked the throat. They were pronouncing the name of Lord Krishna, Krishna. देखिया ब्राह्मण गणेर हैला चमत्कार वैदिक ब्राह्मण सब करेन विचार. When the stereotyped ritualistic brahmanas who were following the Vedic principles saw this ecstatic manifestation of love, they were struck with wonder. All these brahmanas began to reflect follows. येत सन्यासीर तेजते की धर्मसम शूद्रया लिंगिया के नेका करेना क्रंदन. They were started thinking, we can see that this sannyasi has a luster like a effulgence of a brahmana, of a Brahman. But how is it he's crying upon embracing Shudra, a member of 4th caste in the social order? How is that? It never happened generally, because sannyas was meant for only who were born in a Brahmin family as per the Vedic system. So he is a sannyasi, that means he is a Brahmana. And then why he is embracing the Shudra? And what is that actually? They just fell down embracing each other, showing some symptoms. यही महाराजा महापंडित गंभीर सन्यासीर स्पर्श मत हैला अस्थिर. They thought Ramananda Rai is the governor of Madras, a highly learned and brave person, a Mahapandit, but upon touching this sannyasi, he has become restless like a madman. So here we can understand, even in the 14th, 15th century, they never had that, what we can call, like a so-called today's caste system in India. Even though Brahmanas were chanting Vedic mantras for taking bath of Ramananda Rai, who, as per their consideration, he was a Shudra class, but still he was honored and he was considered as a Mahapandit also, and he was appointed as a governor of Madras provinces. Yei mata vipragana bhave mane mana vijati aloka dekhi prabhu kaila samvarana. So when all these brahmanas, they were thinking like that, Lord understood what's going on in their mind, and immediately he controlled his emotions. Because these guys, they will unnecessarily, they will create offense for both of them, and that will destroy their piety. सुस्तहाना दुहे से इस स्थाने ते वसीला तबे हासी महाप्रभु कहिते लागिला. When they regained their sanity, they both sat down, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and began to speak as follows. सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य कहिल तोमार गुणे तोमारे मिलीते मोरे करिला यतने. Sarvam Bhattacharya spoke of your good qualities, and he made a great endeavor to convince me to meet you. Because when first time Maharaj Prataprudra wanted to meet him, and that's what Sarvam Bhattacharya, being a Kulaguru of king, he came and approached Mahaprabhu. Why don't you meet king? Because he has a lot of desire to meet you. And Mahaprabhu rejected that proposal. But here, that same Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when he saw that Mahaprabhu is going on Dakshin Yatra, Dakshin Bharat Yatra, he said, please make sure you go and meet Ramananda Rai. And he tried to convince him. Toma milivare more yetha agamana, darshana. Actually, I came here, the main purpose of visiting these places to meet you. And without much endeavor, it was really easy that you came here and we are having a conversation now. Raya kahe sarvabhauma kare vrityajna parokshasya hamora haite haya savadhan. Ramananda replied, Sarvam Bhattacharya thinks of me as his servant. Even in my absence, he is very careful to do me good. Tarpana kripaya paino tomara darshan aji sapal haila mora manushya janam. By his mercy, I have received your interview here. Consequently, I consider that today I have become a successful human being. So actually from this interaction, we can understand that what is the consciousness of a real Vaishnava. When he sees the other Vaishnava, then or a great devotee of a Lord, then what he feels in his heart. That is wonderfully explained by Rai Ramananda here in this conversation. Further he says, सार्वभौमे तोमार कृपा तारयि चिन्ना अस्पृश्य स्पर्शीलेहान तारा प्रेमा. I can see that you have bestowed special mercy upon Sarvam Bhattacharya. Therefore, you have touched me. Although I am untouchable, this is due only of his love for you. Kahano tumi sakshat Ishwar Narayan Kahamuni Rajasevi Vishayi Shudradham. You are the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Narayana himself. And I am only a government servant interested in materialistic activities. Indeed, I am the lowest among men of the fourth caste. Mora sparshana karile ghana veda bhai Mora darshan toma vede nisheda. You do not fear the Vedic injunction stating that you should not associate with the Shudra. You are not contemptuous of my touch, although in the Vedas you are forbidden to associate with Shudras. And then further he says, Tomara kripaya tomai kripaya nindaya karma Sakshat Ishvara tumi ke jane tomara marma. You are the Supreme Personality of a Godhead himself. Therefore, no one can understand your purpose. By your mercy, you are touching me, although this is not sanctioned by the Vedas. And the purport Prabhupada explains that a sannyasi is strictly forbidden to see the Vishayi, a materialistic people, But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his boundless and causeless mercy, could show favor to anyone, regardless of birth and position. That Lord can only do. We can't imitate that. For us, better to save ourselves. आमानिस्तारिते तोमार इहा आगमन परम दयालु तुमी पतित पावन. He says that Amanistare tomar yagman. You have come here to deliver me. And you are Param Dayalu. You are the most merciful and Patit Pavan. Then further he says, Mahanda Swabhava ye tarite pamara nija karya nahitavu yanatara ghara. It is the general practice of all saintly people to deliver the fallen. Therefore, they go to people's house, although they have no personal business there. And we can see our great acharyas, Shad Goswamis, they have shown how one can renounce this world and what are the behaviors or what are the characteristics of a Vairagi or renunciate person. Those are shown by Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. And then he says, Mahadvichalanam nrunam gruhinam dina chetasam nishreyasaya bhagavan nanyatha kalpate kvachit. This is, my dear Lord, sometimes great saintly persons go to the homes of householders. Although these householders are generally low-minded, when a saintly person visits their homes, one can understand that it is for no other purpose than to benefit that household. Amara sange brahmanadi sahare kajjana tomara darshani sabha vibhuta mana. He says, along with me there are about 1,000 men, including the Brahmanas, and all of them appear to have had their hearts melted by seeing you. Aprakrite prakrite tomara ishvara lakshana jivena sambhaveye aprakrita guna. My dear Lord, according to your behavior and bodily features, you are Supreme Personality of the Godhead. It is impossible for ordinary living being to possess such a transcendental qualities. Then further he says, after hearing all these things from Ramananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the personification of humility, he says, प्रभु कहे तुमी महाभागवतोत्तम तुम्हारा दर्शन सबार ध्रुव Are you are Bhagavatottama. By seeing you, everyone's heart gets melted. So this is how happens when you see any great personality or a great devotee of the Lord, how you can make it out, because that melts your heart. अन्येर की कथा आमी मायावादी सन्यासी आमी ह तुम्हार स्पर्शे कृष्ण प्रेमे भासी. See the greatness that Lord is showing himself. He says that Anyera ki katha, what to speak of others? Huh? Ami Mayavad sannyasi, because Lord Chaitanya took initiation from Keshav Bharti, who belongs to Bharti Sampradaya of Shankara Sampradaya. So he says, even though Mayavadi sannyasi like me, who has touched you, and after touching you, immediately I felt that Krishna prema that you have in your heart. And that's why Mahaprabhu says that anybody can become a guru, but provided he should be Krishna Tattva Vedta. Amara Agyaya Hoi Guru Hana Taradesh. Or says that it's my order that everyone should become guru at their respective place. But who is guru? Yei Krishna. Kiba Vipra Kiba. Kiba Vipra Kibanyasi Shudro Keno. Yei Krishna Tattvaveta. Sei Guru. Who is guru? Anyone, irrespective of whether Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, or anything. If he knows the Krishna Tattva, then Ye jani kadhina mora hridaya shodhite sarvabhauma kahina tumara milite. If the Sarvam Bhattacharya knew this would happen, and thus to rectify my art, which is very hard, he asked me to meet you. So Lord is explaining the symptoms of Mayavadi sannyasis. Their heart is very hard with the knowledge. But here he says that when such a sannyasi comes in contact with a great devotee, then his heart also gets melted. Ye mat tune stuti kare duhar guna, duhe duhar darshani anindita mana. In this way, each of them praised the qualities of each other, and both of them were pleased to see each other. So this is what, how Vaishnava reciprocates with each other. That we can understand from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here both, when they saw each other, their heart was jumping, and they started praising each other. Hena kale vaidika eka Vaishnava brahmana dandavata kari kaila prapura nimantraya. At this time, a Brahmana Vaishnava, following the Vedic principles, came and offered obeisances. He fell flat before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and invited him for a lunch. So that's what the sannyas ashram is, They don't have to wander here and there to fill their belly, but they get invited by Vaishnavas to their house. And that's the duty of Vaishnava Grahasthas, that every day they should call some Atithi or some guest at their house and feed them, especially the sannyasis. Nimantra Manil Kare Vaishnava Janiya Ramananda Kare Prabhu Ishta Hasiya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the invitation, knowing Brahmana to be a devotee, and slightly smiled. He spoke as follows to Ramananda Rai. He said, Tomara mukhe Krishna katha shunite hayamana punarapi payena tomara darshana. I would like to hear the Krishna Katha from you. So I'm expecting that we will have another meeting and we'll meet each other and we'll discuss. Raya kade aila yadi pamara shodhite darshana matra shuddhana he mora dushta chitte dina panchashata rahi dina panchasatarahi karah marjana tabe shuddha hayamore ye dushtamana. He said, Ramananda says, I'm so sinful, and my heart is so contaminated. It's not going to get washed up within one meeting. So why don't you stay for 5-7 days or like a week and we will discuss wonderful Krishna Katha, and that will cleanse up my mind. Yadyapi vichcheda dohar sahana nayaya tatapi dandavata kari chalila ramaraya. Even though they were not ready, their mind was not ready to separate, but still Ramananda Rai, because he has to follow the duties, so he offered his obeisances to the Lord, and he just went away from there. प्रभु जाई से विप्र घरे भिक्षा कैला द्विजना कंठाय असि संध्या हरिला. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the house of Brahmana who had invited him and took his lunch there. When the evening of that day arrived, both Ramananda Rai and the Lord were eager to meet each other again. प्रभु स्नान कृत्य करी आछेन बसिया एक भृत्य संगेराय मिलाल आसिया. See, actually that's the proper way. You can't go to meet some sannyasis and seek a knowledge when you are accompanied by the thousands of people. It need to be have like a one-to-one conversation. So what Ramananda Rai did, the same evening, wearing a simple cloth and having only one person accompanying him, he came to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. नमस्कार कैलाराय प्रभु कैले आलिंगने द्विजने कृष्ण कथा कयराहस्तने. Ramananda approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and offered his respectful obeisances, and the Lord embraced him. Then they began to discuss Krishna in a secluded place. प्रभु कहे पढ़ श्लोक साध्येर निर्णय राय कहे स्वधर्माचरणे विष्णु भक्ति हया. So here, what is the goal of life? Let's discuss about that. That's the first question that Lord asked. Pada shloka sadhyara nirnaya. Now you can tell me the shloka which explains about sadhyara nirnaya, the ultimate goal of life. Then Ramananda Rai kahe, Swadharma acharane Vishnu bhakti haya. Because Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, Svesve karma virataha, one who follows his own duty. So by doing that, he is doing bhakti, devotion to me. Then Lord says, okay, go ahead and give me pramana, evidence for that. Then Ramananda Rai says, Varnashramacharat Purushena Parapraman Vishnuraratate Pantha Nanyattattoshakarinam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashrama. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must be situated in this institution of 4 Varnas and Ashramas. So he is quoting from Vishnu Puran. And in Amrit Prabhava Bhasha, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he quotes it from 1st canto, 2nd chapter, text number 30, where the same principle has explained. Atapumbirvijasreshta varnashrama vibhakshah swanushkatasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. O best among the twice born, if it is there concluded that highest perfection of one's can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to the caste divisions and orders of a life is to please the personality of a Godhead. So here it says that once Varna is not that important, but what is important? The rendering service to the Lord is most important. So anyone from any Varna can do service to the Lord as per his position. So according to his own ability, one should accept a position of Varnashrama institution and then follow the codes of conduct and rules of that particular ashram. And following that will help him to get the ultimate goal of a life. So Lord Gauranga, he says, एवो बाह्य आगे कह आर राय कहे कृष्ण कर्मार्पण सर्व साध्य सार. Lord says, okay, it is external again because it's on the bodily platform. When you consider yourself as a body, then you will designate that body as a particular caste, as particular varna, as particular ashram, and then you will perform your dharma. But he said, it's a bahya. Let me know Krishna Karmarpana and Sarva Sadhyasa. What is the essence and how one can offer his karma to the Lord? Then he says a nice verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjohosi dadasi yat tapasya kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. As Lord has instructed that whatever you eat, whatever you give, whatever austerities that you perform, hey Kunti Putra, you do it for me. That is karma arpana. And that's why at the end of Karma Kanda, any puja that we do, we say that Kayena Vacha Manasindharva Buddhyatmanava Prakrute Swabhava Karomi Yadyat Sakala Parasmai Narayanayati Samarpayami. Again, Lord says, Eo Bhai Age Kaha. Because again, here you are doing some activities. And some activities that made for your sense gratification. They are made for your sense gratification, but you wanted to offer it to the Lord. You want to eat, that's why you are cooking and offering bhoga to the Lord. If you don't have to eat, like a fasting days, you don't cook then, What do you do then? You fast, you make your Lord also fast sometimes. Some devotees, they cook, sometimes they don't cook, so they don't offer also. And that's why he says, okay, eo baya, age kaha, raya kaye swadharma tyaga, yehi sadhyasa. So he said that to give up one's occupational duties in Varnashrama system is the essence of perfection. So renunciation is called karma tyaga, giving up your occupational duties. But again, and he quotes again, Adnaivam gunadoshan mayadhisthana api swakam dharman santyaje yah sarvan mam bhajate sacha sattamaha. Actually, this is from 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where from the Uddhav Gita. Occupational duties are described in the religious scriptures. If one analyzes them, he can fully understand their qualities and faults and then give them up completely to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person is considered as a first-class man. सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text number 66, after giving up all kinds of religious occupational duties, if you come to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and take shelter, I will give you protection from all of life's sinful reactions. Do not worry. Then again, Lord says, Eo Baya Age Kaha Aad, Rai Kahe, Jnana Mishra Bhakti Sadhya Sarasar. Lord Mahaprabhu again rejects this statement. He said, go ahead and say something more. Then he says that devotional service mixed with the empiric knowledge is the essence of perfection, that is Buddhi Yoga. And then he quotes, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na Shochati na Kankshati Sama Sarvabhuteshu Mad Bhakti Lavate Param. According to the Bhagavad Gita, one who is thus transcendent situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains the pure devotional service unto me. प्रभु कहे, एहो बाह्य आगे का. Then Rai kahe, Jnana Shunya Bhakti Sadhya Sar. Giving up karma. Like, first is like performing your prescribed duties. Then he says, okay, giving up your prescribed duties. Then performing Buddhi Yoga or Nishkam Karma Yoga. And now he says that Jnana Shunya Bhakti. So, the Lord says, Eo Bahya. It is also external. Why? Because Brahmaji he himself says, Dhyane prayasam udapasyanamantayeva jivan sanmukaritam bhavadiyavartam sthane sthita shrutigata tanuvak manomir ye prayaso chito api asi trai stri lokyam. He says that this knowledge, the speculative knowledge, Jnani Prayasa Udapasyanamantye, it's not useful also. Why? Because Jivan Disanmukaridam Bhavadya, Sthane Sthita Shrutika. Because the person who attains through this knowledge, he may attain the Brahmajyoti, but he will fall down there. But someone who is Sthane Sthita Shrutikatam Tanubhak Manove, but someone who dedicates his body, his speech, his hearing, and his mind, then what happens? Ajito apijita. That Lord who is unconquerable gets conquered by that particular. And then Lord says, Eo Bahya, Agekar. It is also external. Say something further. Then Rai kahe, Prema Bhakti Sarva Sadhya Sa. The loving devotional service is topmost. And how he tries to put forward that point, that we will discuss on next Friday. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Ramananda Raya ki jai.